about some things. Welcome back to the Hobby Chop Podcast. You got me, Big Ken.
Zip, how's it going, guys?
We are live. We are at the big show here at the Doubletree in Bristol, Connecticut. The show is, we just heard him yell 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
5 minutes to get going. It is 9 to 3 today. It's raining outside.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing to do.
But there is a line out the door, and it's making an L, and it continues to grow. People are getting a little wet. I'm sure there's more. I'd be sitting in my car.
Thank God for the drive up.
Yeah,
right?
because it's at a hotel. Yeah. So the check-in, there's open. I'd be in my car.
Yeah,
I'd be in my car.
So I'll flash this up on the screen. The big show live today, coming in to autograph. You're going to.
Speaking of the big show, there's a different WWE superstar, Hall of Famer Rikishi. He'll be signing today, and I'm gonna let Ken do the hockey names because I will butcher them.
So former Harper Whaler Kevin Dineen and Peter Sidorkovich.
Oh yeah,
That wasn't so hard.
elementary, yeah.
So they're going to be signing today. 100 tables in here. I put up I just lost them. I put up an Instagram live.
You're gonna laugh. I was looking for my case, but my case is under the laptop, so I just wow. Okay, back on it. Sorry.
That's okay. So what do you think? You walk through the room. I mean, it's a nice setup here.
Double trees are nice. It's a nice setup. It's open. There's good lighting. A lot of dealers. So we'll really see how attendance goes. And but for a start, there's a line, so that's always a good sign.
Yeah,
I know there's a bunch of shows that they don't have lines usually out the door to start.
Yeah.
So
it used to be like shows used to have huge lines, and then they slowed down. And I think they're picking up again. I think it's picking up again. This definitely got a good line here. And like I started to say before, it's raining outside. There's nothing else to do, right?
Yep.
What else are you going to do today? Come down to the card show, right?
Absolutely.
Buy some cards, dig through some singles boxes. I only set up one case today because I'm going to be doing a lot of this video going live and stuff. So I didn't bring any of my singles boxes down today. I'm probably going to wish I did, but it's a little cool right here, like the humidity and the cool. And I think I probably would have maybe warped. You know how like cardboard gets wet, like with this humidity or whatever it is. So I think I might be kind of glad that I didn't bring my singles boxes. So.
I don't know. I think it's dry enough in here to be all right, especially for like a day. But like, I mean,
well, no, we're right in the atrium. I mean, in the show in there, it's fine.
Yeah.
But right where we are with the door open because in the line, we got all these people out here getting ready to come through.
All right, so what are we thinking? What's the goal for the show today?
So the goal, I mean, honestly, to buy well.
Yeah,
we're always trying to buy, right? Buy well, selling. I was very particular about the cards that I brought today. A lot of the Prism, a lot of the Don Russ, a lot of the how you doing? A lot of the lower end stuff. I left home. I didn't bring. I mean, I think football. I see football prices starting to climb a little bit, which I'm excited about. And look, I'm not going to get rich not selling those cars today and selling them next month or in a month and a half. I may make $10 or $15 more on those cars. I may lose $10 or $15, but it always makes me feel better. It's weird that when I see you on there when we're doing the podcast, now I want to keep turning towards you.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Usually we have the squares. I know. Yeah, bear with us. This is the first time we've done this, but yeah. And then I'm just trying to buy volume. I think I'm just gonna go for like low end volume and then just keep it moving. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I have the most pathetic case because if anyone listens to the pod, they know like everything I do is online. So I have like 7 cards in a big showcase next to a buying sign. Yeah. So Rusty over here being a vendor. It's strange for me again. It's been a few years. It's been a few years, honestly.
Yeah. Well, you've set up with me. You've come
I set up a value box.
Yeah.
I haven't had like a showcase. I mean, I'd argue I don't have a showcase now.
Yeah, that's not really a showcase. That's a case with a handful of cards.
No.
With a huge buying sign over there.
Yeah, exactly.
There's still look at the line.
I know it's growing. The line's doubled since we mentioned it. So it looks like we got people coming in. Looking at Ken's cards.
I know I may have to go over and make some sales over there in a minute. We're missing Tyler today, but he will be back Tuesday. We're going to go live on Tuesday. He's guaranteed me he's back for Tuesday, so putting him on the spot now.
Yep. And then we have some people in the chat. Oh, it says, you're right here. Oh, look there's Tyler. He had messaged. He said, "Have fun today, gentlemen. I wish I could have joined you."
Yeah.
Then we have M&J Wilson.
He says, "I will be back."
Yeah. Terminator.
I think there's a way here.
Arnold Tyler Schwarzenegger over here.
There you go. I'll be
there
back.
You go. In writing. In writing, everyone.
Collector's Dream. Hello, everyone. M&J Wilson. Big Ken.
What's up, Dale?
Commerce Collector in the house. Or Commerce Comic Collector.
Egg Commerce, is that your 52 mantle? If so, good for you. Jeez, that thing. Look how nice that picture looks. Look at the registration on that thing.
Yeah. We got Tyler talking about this dynasty draft we're doing. It's a slow roll, kid. It hasn't even. It'll resume today at 10.
I think when we get Tyler back on, when are we going to shoot again? Tuesday night Night Live.
Yeah.
I think deep into the podcast, so we don't bother the hobby people. We'll talk a little bit of fantasy dynasty draft just for a little bit later on. Though. I know a bunch of people are not going to be interested in that, but some will.
And it's early, right? I mean, people are just planning their summer vacations, and we're already drafting dynasty. And that other dynasty league we're in, we've already did the rookie draft.
Yeah.
So it just seems way too early for me.
Well, when you're doing a dynasty draft, it's
That's all right.
When you're doing the dynasty draft, it's like an outlook of several years, so it's you can kind of do it whenever. But yeah, definitely some injuries could still happen.
And it's only 4 rounds.
Yeah. Yep. Cool.
We got to get Alex over here to talk. I don't know if we'll get him to talk. Maybe we can get Cliff in there.
Yeah.
They're a little busy. We had set it up that we were going to have them come on, and they have people working the door, but there's so many people coming in. They all of a sudden 2 people. They just turned into 5 people to get tickets on everybody's hands. So it's going to be a few minutes before we get them on and come in. And I'm hoping that maybe some of these guests that come in, we can get them on the podcast.
That would be interesting. That would be pretty awesome.
So Collector's Dream. This is the big show, and we're at Doubletree in Danbury, Connecticut.
Bristol.
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 Did I say Danbury?
Yeah, you said in Bristol, Connecticut.
Yeah, Bristol, Connecticut. Doubletree.
Yep.
I have to figure out how not to turn that way and look at you.
I know. It's new. It's new. So I literally have the slabs I have are from a collection I just bought, and they were literally in a bubble mailer to go out to consignment. But I had them in my case, and then Ken is like, "Oh, here's a showcase," and I'm like, "I have nothing." So we'll see how that goes.
I just got my Jaden Daniels Uptown back from PSA.
Uptowns with the S. Isn't that obnoxious?
Why do they have an S on it?
You know
Why
that,
is
right? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's weird. Uptowns.
I don't understand why it's uptowns and not downtowns. Like my friend used to call it shrimps.
There's one. Yeah, there's one uptown each town. No, like in a town. Like there's a one. There's not multiple downtowns in the city, right?
Is this Blaze from
Blaze.
out there?
Pop
Go
over.
tell him to come out.
Blaze right there. Blaze, come over here. I'll go find him. I'll go find him.
All right. If you have any questions on those, let me know. Sorry, this is the doing it live. Do you have questions? You sure? You come sit down and ask. You can be live on YouTube. This is actually my first time doing a YouTube live stream. I think I've always been a little bit nervous of it, but today I said we're going to go ahead and do this. And my only fear is when I have to get up, you're just gonna be looking at this great rainy patio back here.
Oh, you're so tall, bro.
Yeah.
It's a problem. The problem with this, my neck is cut off.
Standing in the back now.
There you go. So introduce yourself. Who are you?
I'm Blaze. I was just in the comments
Yeah.
in the other room.
So you usually don't set up. You're always
very
walking
scarcely.
shows.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes I prefer to walk. Just you never know what you get.
Yep.
It's
So why setting up today? What was the difference?
Cliff came up to me and asked and presented the show, and I was like, if it's presented well, it looks like it's advertised well. Cliff and Alex always do a great show.
Yep.
You can always rely on those guys to really put the effort in promoting, and that's where I think a lot of shows lack too, is just self-promotion. Instead of relying on other people to promote your show, you get out there, you do it yourself.
Yep.
I grew up around independent wrestling, so I know what the difference is between
A lot of promoting there.
if you don't self-promote, you get 5-6 people to show up and you hate it.
Yep.
Some people like it, some people hate it, but especially with shows, you have to promote.
Yep. And these guys they've been doing this 10, 15 years,
Yeah.
right? I mean, they've been their own shows. They do the Enfield show, they do the Plainville show, so they have a lot of connections and getting autograph, getting signees coming down too.
And that's a big thing too, where you're not oversaturating the market, even though it sounds like doing 2 shows a month can do that when it's run by, you see the same, I hear you say it all the time, you do the same stuff, you see the same people, you see the same faces,
Yep.
and sometimes it gets difficult. Sometimes people want to go experience other places, but this is a little further than where they're usually at.
Not many people are worried about stale cards in their cases, right? So some people, or they don't understand it, so they'll just keep going back to the same show over and over with the same inventory, which, I mean, it's okay to be a part of the community, but probably not selling a whole lot of cards, back and forth. So
The way I see it, you never want to sell yourself short and just take it because it's presented. But you also have to understand, if it's there 2 months, 3 months, maybe you're overpriced on it. Maybe the market is slimmer on it. Like I do a lot of soccer.
Yeah.
The market being very thin,
yeah.
you have to take your profits when you can. You have to take the turnover when you can. If you feel like you're good about what you buy, what you sell, it's always better to have money in your pocket to be able to buy when a better opportunity comes to. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna ask you what's in the case today, and give us some of the highlights.
I just got part of my PSA sub back. I say part of it, but me and my buddy split it, and I think it was all soccer outside of a couple PC cards. I PC Michael Thomas and Drew Brees, so it's either you're not finding a Michael Thomas at a show, so everything's either on eBay, whatnot, Veriswap. You just got to go find it if that's what you want. The highlights today, I didn't put out my rainbow, but that all came back. The XR Cole Palmer rainbow rookie.
Nice.
That's staying in the case. I don't see a point in putting that out right now. I had a Victor Gokris auto at a 75 come back at 10. Pedri rookie come back at 10. Cole Palmer rookie at a 5 at a pearl. It's for not every sport does that set either. So a little variances. I did start picking up some football just for some liquidation purposes. higher turnover rate gives you more room to play. I like talking to people. I like buying. I like selling.
So when you were planning on coming here today, you're like, I've got soccer. I want to put my soccer out, but I know I need to put football or something else out if I want to make sure that I at least cover my day and my table
Exactly.
and things like that.
I love going through people's value bins and just pulling out 15, 20 cards and then being able to bring them over to a new area where not everyone has eyes on, not everyone has this on, and just presenting it in a different capacity than what I was able to find it in. I just see a much higher turnover rate in football, which goes without saying.
Yeah.
And not the European one.
The other football.
So I started folding back into that area of I play too much fantasy football for my own liking to not have some stuff in my case or in my value box.
So let me ask you a question, because I say this all the time. Do you think playing fantasy, how long have you been playing fantasy football?
Oh, way too long.
So
15 years.
So do you think, and knowing the players as well as you do for fantasy helps you in the hobby, in buying cards and selling cards, and just knowing like what opportunities players have and who they're playing for, and do they have the talent? Second of all, are they in a situation where they can really showcase that talent?
I love to say yes, but it always seems like everyone's kind of on the same wavelength for stuff like that too. Everyone's always first on quarterbacks. Everyone's sluggish on running backs and wide receivers for a bunch of different reasons. So it's just finding that healthy mix of, do I think this guy can pop off? Is this guy in a low swing? Is there a turnaround for it? Like my big one right now is CJ Stroud. I like the receivers they brought in. It reminds me a lot of his rookie year. Nico Collins is that good, I think.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of guys that you have to be standoffish on. And I think right now is the time to buy football because everything's so low. And then if you hold it for too long, like we were saying earlier, it becomes stale, then you're playing with fire once the season starts.
Yep.
Like that is the biggest gamble out of everything is buying something in the offseason and holding it for the season, hoping that you're going to 3, 4, 5 extra money when you could have 2x'd it in preseason or in OTAs.
Yeah. And we just talked about that, our last podcast, right? Timing the market, knowing when to buy and when to sell. And I think both are as equally as important, knowing when to buy and knowing when to sell, because you buy at the wrong time or you sell at the wrong time, you could lose a ton of money. But on the opposite, if you buy and sell at the right time, you can definitely turn a profit on almost any card, right?
And with how I see it too, and I don't want to say it's a lot of greed sometimes too, where it becomes you want, let me squeeze out every nickel and dime out of this I can. If I wait a week, maybe I'll get some good news. You could also get bad news in a way.
Yep.
How many preseason injuries or just OTA injuries have we seen in the last, we'll even say 5 years, that have just nosedove somebody's market?
Yeah, but I like this time of year when they're going to training camp, like you just got to hope for the best.
Right.
Not even to mention all the off the field stuff that can happen with the NFL too. So
like I'm a semi-pro kicker, and I was like, Justin Tucker is that guy, and now he's that guy for something totally different.
Yep.
And it's not that kickers or punters have a big market in any capacity.
He had a pretty good market though. He really did.
For who he was for the game, yeah. He was probably the market guy currently for that position. And now you look and it's who wants it? Who's gonna be willing to pick that up right now?
Yeah. So where were you a kicker?
I played semi-pro up in Holyoke, Massachusetts,
Nice.
for 6-7 years.
What's the long?
52.
Wow.
I had a bigger punt than I did a kick.
Okay. 52 is pretty awesome.
I just like playing keep away with people. That's where punts came in for me. Once I figured out it's just a big, longer game of keep away, outside the numbers. But that was some of the best times of my life.
Awesome.
Nice.
So how did you get into mainly soccer? Because obviously, I think me and you met years ago.
Yeah.
Through that same soccer.
So I grew up playing it. I always watched it. I'm a Chelsea fan. I can say that proudly now. Wasn't able to say that for about a year, willingly. So, I mean, once I realized that there is a market, and the way I saw it was I started cards when I was younger, and it was hockey because I played a lot of hockey. Football was always there. And then I got into football when I really started getting back into cards when I got older. And I saw sets coming out too fast for me. And I didn't sell online. I would only go show a month, show every other month. And I would realize I'm buying stuff. And then with every 2 weeks, a new set was coming out. And then, that stuff dropped because a new set came out. Was there a big difference? Not really. It's just now stuff is more newer and everyone wants the new stuff. You don't want to be stuck holding the old stuff.
And there was a time soccer was really, really strong.
And I think it's only going to get stronger over the course of the next year personally. Yeah. That's not financial advice. I have to say that up front, apparently. But that's how I see it.
For entertainment purposes only.
Yes. I think with the World Cup coming here, the dates getting announced, once the pools get announced and their locations get announced, I think we'll start to see whatever market is around here, because Gillette has a bunch of games. I think they have a quarterfinal game. The finals are right in MetLife.
Yeah, I was going to say the finals at MetLife.
Is what?
Northeast will be.
How far is that from here? Like an hour?
From right here, probably like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I think it's
3 hours, including traffic.
Yeah. And that's if you're not walking there.
Right. Yeah.
And when is that?
Was it next July?
July.
No, yeah,
a year.
But I mean, I think that will cause some movement, whether it's in a good direction or a bad direction, whether it's now everybody's trying to get into it, so it stabilizes it.
I'm curious, Blaze, like, how do you go about, like, obviously, you have your local guys that you're able to buy soccer from, or I guess, where's the majority of your buying and selling of soccer? Because I know personally, it's not as like,
no,
it's like nothing, no, if ands or buts about that. It's not flipping.
No. A lot of whatnot, honestly. Okay. I do it with football now. I'll find the shows that have 3-4 guys in it that are just running singles. Oh, buy this, I'll do this. Free shipping is no joke. So once you get that, and then it just kind of keeps going and going. You know the guys that you're looking for, especially in soccer too, because there's so many rookies that are coming in that don't play, get loaned out, don't even play a minute with their original club that they're in. That whatnot has been a big avenue for soccer for me personally.
Yeah, you're a Cole Palmer guy and a Chelsea fan. So how is that for you that his rookies are City, right?
Yeah.
So what is that like? That's kind of interesting.
It's a dynamic.
Yeah.
I don't think it takes away from the card too much personally, at least from a fanhood.
Right.
Like I said, I have the rainbow that I don't mind holding. I plan on just maybe putting it out there once the World Cup gets kicked up, maybe a few months before. But I don't think it changes it too much for me personally. I see a lot of guys, especially with Chelsea now, not many homegrown talents are coming up through the ranks there.
Yeah, imagine if Chelsea kept on their homegrown talents.
You mean like Mo Salah, KDB,
Moose, Jude, right?
Yeah. We'd all be happy living. I would be happier living. But there's a lot of guys, and I think I see soccer a lot like baseball for a lot of people who don't know soccer, where it's a lot of young guys that you might not hear for a couple of years, or even, and just kind of, you got to wait it out sometimes. I still, just like what Ken says all the time, you buy the goats.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable buying the goats, buy the goats. If you have the financial backing, buy the goats.
Yeah, like I think if like soccer is something that people want to dabble into, like safely, I mean, may not necessarily be the cheapest, but obviously like Messi, Ronaldo, like you really can't go wrong.
I don't think you can.
Even on the low end stuff.
No, yeah. Like I think you've seen it. I have my Ronaldo out of 5 auto PSA 10. That's a card I don't mind sitting on.
Sure.
Sure. Is it liquid? Maybe. If someone wants to pay what I have it stickered at or negotiate with me on it too, I'm always open to it.
Yeah.
But I just know it's not a card I don't mind sitting on. The rookies and current players are a little different, but at least there's probably 5 guys that I'm just like, I don't mind sitting for a minute.
So because you're grading some too, like how quickly do you think you turn over soccer, and do you sell those in person at shows? Like you said, you don't do Whatnot, right? Or you buy on Whatnot?
I buy on Whatnot. I've sold on Whatnot, and it's mostly $1-2 cards that I'm just stuff that's sitting around my office that I'm just like, oh, I pulled this or I bought this. Let me just get rid of it now.
Okay.
It's the same thing, stale inventory. I don't think that because I paid $3 2 months ago that if I take $2 on whatnot, I can't believe I just lost $1.
Yeah, no.
And I'm upset about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully within the next 5 hours, I can tell you if I turn over soccer something a little faster here. But that's about probably, I would say 85 to 90% of my case is soccer.
All right. Well, Blaze, good luck.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for stopping in,
It's been
brother.
a pleasure. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. You want to swap?
Thought we might have a buying opportunity there for a minute.
Yeah. Ken had someone walk up to the showcase. So.
Bouncing back and forth.
Yep. All right. That was great. A little insight on soccer. I mean, I used to do that a lot, but I stopped honestly not because I don't love it. It's just because it's so much harder to transact. So
When I listen to him talk about soccer, I almost feel like what I'm doing with Sarah Strong.
oh yeah,
Right? Like buying cards and knowing that it's going to be a couple of years before. So I'm making the investment now, and I just keep putting those cards aside.
there was someone who had a Sarah Strong auto like right there, a bunch of Yukon stuff too.
In this main hall.
Yeah, in the main hall.
Yep. I'll take a look. But still, it's like, you're buying stuff that that you don't know. You're hoping it's going to increase in value, but it's not like I'm going to hold that for a month or 2 months like I've been doing with Juju Watkins and Kiki Rice, that I have like made those investments and put them aside. It's like, to me, it's like buying a stock.
Okay.
Right. And because that the company is working on something that, and you hope in 2 years, buying at a good time, and in 2 years, it's going to come out and explode. I mean, that's the same thing that happens with a lot of these players that I do, but that's not, that's me being diversified, right? So having stuff that I can move immediately, stuff that I can move in 6 months, and stuff that's going to be a couple of years down the road.
That requires patience I do not have.
But too, I mean, and we talk about this in the hobby, like people who are in different stages of their life, right? I'm sure, you have a young family at home. I mean, your career is just taking off.
Yeah.
I'm at the end of that,
Sure.
So I'm reaping some of the rewards of all those years of working I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
And I think, a lot of people are in different parts of their lives. And I commend people like you, because I know there's a handful of people in here that have young kids at home.
Yeah.
And I know it takes a lot of time away from the family.
Yeah. Shout out to my mom watching my son at home today until like 3. So I'll be out of here like at 2. So shout out to mom and all the moms out there.
Yeah. What do we have here? What QBs are you looking to pick up?
I think the only QB I could pick up is Kyler Murray. But other than that, no. I am literally just buying all of them. Because the QBs are so easy to sell. Well, I shouldn't say all of them. All of them that are starters and somewhat of note. Like as long as you're buying them at the right price and have an outlet, you can buy all of them, especially right now. What do you think, Ken? Is that too much?
No, that's good. I look a little deeper into it. Like, I think it's like someone like Brock Purdy, right? Just got a huge contract.
Yeah.
So that tells me that the organization, people who know a lot more than we do, right? About
we don't know much
about players and the sport, right? Are making a big investment in this player. So that tells me that they're prepared to make him, the face, or that they made him the face of this organization, of this franchise. So like that, I would invest in him. CJ Stroud's another one. I think that he, for some reason, been just overshadowed by all these new quarterbacks that came in this past, not this year's draft, but the year before, right? With all those players coming in. So I think if he has a great year this year, it starts out strong, and right, we're saying that every year there's one or two of those players that are all the rage come the national, right? And somehow I just have a feeling he's one of them.
I think people are going to be going nuts for Drake May.
Yep, he's in a very good position.
He has a ton of tools. There's already been some good stories of him at camp. I'm excited to see what happens with him.
We're in a good position here in the Northeast for Drake May.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. My house is like an hour from Foxborough, so yeah.
You know, Giants players, Patriot players, Bills players, right? People are crazy. They're diehard fans up here in the Northeast.
Oh yeah.
And they'll buy anything with their player on it. So
I mean, if you lived here for the last 25 years, it's hard not to. And you're a Pats fan, it's hard not to be diehard. I mean, right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Every other year, you were in or winning a Super Bowl. So,
but they're never going to believe that those 20 years are over. Those 20 years of Tom Brady, they're like, okay, we just a little bump in the road, but we're going right back to the Super Bowl next year with Drake May. You know, it's
a lot of people have the Patriots as their bottom tier team to be flipped to a top tier team. I mean, but they had a great offseason. That I think the most important thing was they got a real leader there with Vrabel.
Yeah.
You know,
and they brought McDaniels back. But I think what I'm saying, and I'm not trying to knock the fans, the Patriot fans, but you figure if you're 30,
I'm a Dolphins fan. I can't stand them.
If you're 30 or 35 years old, right?
Yep.
And you're a Patriots fan, all you've known is winning. You've just been a winner, and that's it, right? And all of a sudden you have a couple losing seasons and they're down on the team and they're like, well, in their mind, right? All those years with Tom Brady, they think, oh, we're just going to go right back to the Super Bowl next year or the year out. Like we're destined to be back there. And it's the realization that it's so hard.
Yeah.
So hard to get. And I'm a Chiefs fan.
Well, you know before this, and now you understand this is a window and it will come to a close.
And I'm the opposite. I sit on here and say, man, I don't think they're going to make it this year. Why? Because I just went year after year of disappointment, right? So, I said 30 or 35, and you're my age, and your team. It took all these years for your team to get to a Super Bowl. Now that we're winning, I'm riding the wave, but I don't expect it to.
You're like, I don't believe this every single time. Yeah.
Very funny.
Yep.
People still coming in. Yeah. The line.
Card vibe. Who are you picking up? What QBs are you picking up? If you're still here. You think Caleb Williams is going to have a pretty big year?
Well, I think, again, here's another organization that they've made a lot of investments in that team and coaching, and not only the head coach, but, quarterback coach and offensive coordinator. And I'm expecting big things out of them too. I mean, Caleb's probably another one. We're going to hear such great things by the time we hit the National in Chicago.
Our boy Lovelace is 6'6". I looked him up the other day. 6'6".
Is that we're just going to call him Lovelace?
Yeah, absolutely. 6'6". I mean, you spend it was 10th overall. So you have a top 10 pick on a tight end. And then you have Luther Burton later on, and you have DJ Moore and Rome Odunze, and then you have DeAndre Swift, and you have who I think definitely not hobby-wise, but real football who's going to be a little sneaky this year is Roshan Johnson. Technically
he was the hammer last year. Every time I got down, I put him on one league. And I just kept putting him in because every time they got down to the 1 or 2 yard line, they hand this guy the ball.
You're right. So the last time Ben Johnson had DeAndre Swift, it was Swift from between the 20s, and then it was that crazy Jamal Williams year. He had like 20 touchdowns or something. And I think Roshan right now is going to be more dynamic than Jamal Williams might have been then. So I think you're going to see that dynamic again.
Yeah. The problem is you can't buy those cards.
Who, Roshan?
Any of them.
Oh,
There's nothing. We're sitting here talking about, running backs, and you name some wide receivers, but when it comes to the hobby, when it comes to cards, I mean, it's quarterbacks
and a handful.
It's Justin Jefferson. It's Jamar Chase. Malik Neighbors, right? If you're in Northeast, you got with the Giants out here, people are buying Malik Neighbors. And all these other players, these running backs.
I think it depends what market, though.
But even Saquon Barkley, right? So last year, right, probably, I think it was November. You can go back because it's on tape where I picked up his rookie red Prism auto, right? And it was a PSA 10. And I expected, the way he finished that season and went into the playoffs, that thing was going to skyrocket in price. And I didn't see that much. Like, I made a few dollars on it, but nowhere near what I expected to happen with that. That really just, like now, we've got Ashton Gentile, like the number one coming in. Everybody's excited about him. I don't think I would even consider buying one of his cards.
Well, okay. So, we deal in different markets, though, I think. Like, I buy high-end cards for sure, but, I think you have a higher floor on cards that you buy than I do. I will buy cheaper cards. And those markets are very alive in those, from my experience. Like even a guy I picked up in a collection the other day, a Ricky Pearsall patch auto. I will sell that, no problem. But it's just a matter of understanding those markets. And for a lot of people, a lot of people are in those markets too, though, I think is important because it's just
and we have to understand that market too.
Yeah.
Right. So I look all the time and I see players are up 20% or 25%. And I'm like, really? This player's up? But then I go back and say, oh, it went from $2 and something cents to $7.
Yeah.
So whatnot buyers, things like that, the dollar cards, the singles boxes we talked about.
And then look at this comment, kind of Card Vibe said he liked May for the younger QBs, and then like you had said, Neighbors for the Giants fans. Absolutely, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Then Hodges 1455, thanks for the like. How's it going? I'll tell you what, I kind of like this YouTube live thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's easy. It's
and it's nice to have people's comments coming in and the interaction. The interaction is nice. Yeah. So
I don't know if we advertise this well enough, but the Tuesday, when we get on Tuesday, we do the live episode on Tuesday with Tyler will be back. Definitely, it'll be should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. That'll be a blast. Yeah.
Yep.
You want me to try to grab one of those guys to see if they want to pop in and talk a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go find them.
Trip on that stuff.
I know.
We're gonna take a little break.
Okay.
Right?
I mean, we could probably pop back on.
We're gonna take we don't pause it. It'll just stay there. We're just gonna take a break. Give us 5 minutes. I'm gonna sit here though. Yeah. It's nice to be set up out here in the front, but then once they come in, they're gone. There's nobody left to look at my case. I have to grab them as they come in, make that eye contact. That is awesome. Yes, it is. We got another one here, Ben Rice. So Zip the baseball guy just left. I don't even watch baseball. My apologies. I hope I don't lose followers over that comment, but I am not a baseball guy. two things I've noticed coming in here today: a lot of Whalers jerseys, and we talked about the two former Hartford Whalers, Kevin Dineen and Peter Sidorkovich, is going to be here today. So a lot of Whalers jerseys and hats and stuff like that coming in. It was pretty cool. And the other thing is a lot of families coming in with small kids, which is really great to see. I always say that's a great thing to see in the hobby. And see, with the mothers with kids and the husbands and wives with kids, and dads and daughters. Just a good mix, because I think that people think of the card show as just a bunch of people like me, buying, selling, and trading, but it's really evolves over the years to a really nice, family setting where you can bring a family down to walk the show. How you doing? Good. We're still on. No, we're on. Yeah, I just left it on. I've been talking. We got card vibes about head out to a card show in Vero Beach, Florida.
Ooh, warmer than here, probably.
Yeah. So be careful out there, right? Wasn't it? It was last week that somebody got pistol whipped in the parking lot.
In Florida?
Yeah, I think it was in Tampa.
Classic Florida man experience.
I think it happened in Tampa. I mean, maybe it was it. Maybe Card Vibe. It was you that sent me that message. Somebody sent me that message.
Hodges has a comment for you, Ken.
Yeah, definitely. I'm women's soccer. I hope that doesn't get me, demoted on your comment. But I do have men's soccer, and I did have, and that's kind of how you and I met too. At the shows years ago when soccer was very popular. I was doing, selling.
Well, do you remember our first deal?
You sold me a women.
UFC. It was women's UFC.
Yeah, it was women. I knew it was a women's card. UFC.
And I just had him. I didn't. I was practically gonna give him away. And I walked up. You were set up as a vendor, and I'm just walking around with my case. And he's like, "What are you selling?" And I showed him, and his eyes lit up over these UFC cards. He's like, "We do this for him?" I'm like, "Happily." And then ever since then,
UFC was big too.
Yeah,
it's funny. I could go through my office. I have a storage room off my office that I have shelving with boxes of cards, and I have UFC cards in there, and I have soccer cards in there. I have wrestling cards in there, right? So all the stages. I have tennis cards in there. I have golf cards in there, right? All the stages of the things that I've sold. But instead of when it's dropped off or the market has cooled off, right? Instead of being like, oh, I just got to dump them, I just take them and put them in there because I think that, this is like everything else. Sooner or later, it's going to come back around.
The golf is actually interesting to me because golf is a sport that's growing tremendously.
Yeah,
tremendously.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of the Full Swing series on Netflix?
Yep,
they're fantastic. And then Liv just had the Prism. I don't know. And I'll tell you what, when those guys win the majors, there's a frenzy for their cards on eBay. Like when Rory completed the Grand Slam.
Yeah. But it's funny, like some of the higher end stuff, like the Rory Purple PMG. Mm-hmm. I know it just because I love those Upper Deck employee Upper Deck. They were the numbered cards. I have the Mike Tyson card.
Out of 125, right? Or what are they out of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something. Yeah. And there's a Rory one. And of course, I have my thing saved on, my search is saved on eBay. And I've seen this similar card pop up a couple times, the Rory card. And there are times people are asking $5,000 and $6,000. Now I think the last one that came up was like maybe I think it was 2,900, which is probably a reasonable price on it. But I don't know if they actually ever sell. And I don't know if Rory's a guy that people like. You'll want to buy one of his cards, but maybe not want to buy that card. Like you would have to be like me buying the Mike Tyson version of that. Love that card. It was a card I wanted.
Yeah.
And a card it was a set of gold to find that card, and I did.
I feel like for golf, I would want autos.
Well, in that, I guess what I was getting at, Tiger Woods also has
A PMG.
that out of that set, and I think if I was going to buy a golf, I would buy out of that set. I would buy the Tiger Woods one. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you can't go wrong with Tiger. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Tiger. I just I'm a big fan of a lot of the golf now, especially because like the accessibility you have with a lot of them, doing like YouTube content, and like you get a real look at them as there's a lot of accessibility, so it's just nice. Like someone who's totally changed their image around. I feel like years ago, people thought Bryson DeChambeau was like obnoxious and they couldn't stand him. And now people understand like how much the guy truly cares about golf, and he's just a madman about it. And I don't know, like it's a guy whose cards would be kind of nice to have.
And
like,
it's a lot like baseball, right? I mean, you buy those cards when they come out, when they start, but you have to wait. You have to wait for this player to develop their talent and get to the top of their game, right?
If only we knew someone who had inside information about golf.
Do we?
Yeah, Tyler.
Oh.
Tyler would be a wealth of knowledge on the golf stuff. So, yeah, I have to ask him a little bit more about that. Cool.
A lot of families coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Uh-oh, here we go. From Dale. Get off my lawn, old guy question here. Are Pokemon collectors collecting the players or for the game playing? I'm wondering if Pokemon is a gateway to sport card collecting futures. Honestly, Dale, I have no idea about Pokemon. No clue. I feel bad. I couldn't tell you.
Well, I could tell you that I was there at the beginning. I bought Pokemon cards for my son, right? And then when he was done with them, I just took them and put them aside. Like everything else I thought could have some value down the road. So I went and put them aside. And then when Pokemon, do you have any questions? When Pokemon came back out, I dug those cards out, and I did fine. I did great on those cards. They definitely I sold them for more than I bought them for back in the 90s.
I hope so.
But what I understand about Pokemon is that the kids who played them in the 90s are now of age with a job and good income, and now they've come back to it like it's their childhood thing, and now it's resurfaced, and they remember playing the game, and they remember getting the cards and things like that. So yeah, I think you have a whole generation that is into Pokemon, or and I think the Pokemon has become a generational thing, and surprisingly enough, I don't know. I know around where I am, there's 3 different places where you can just go play these, like any of these games. There's the Pokemon, and there's
there's Yu-Gi-Oh,
Dark,
Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering, things like that. So you could go play these games, and I think that's becoming more popular too, with them being able to play in competitions as well. So I think.
And Dale's asking about the transition to sports cards later. I couldn't answer that. I don't know. I think there's probably some turnover, like in anything, but
come on over.
Come say hey.
Come on, we're doing a YouTube live.
Grab a seat.
We're gonna get back to that question. Jonathan, basketball guard guy.
What's up?
Thanks for showing up.
No problem.
I didn't even know I was scheduled until I got here.
Yeah,
So.
just when you walked in, we're scheduled. We're doing a live here. So did you walk in? Have you been in the
I
show?
literally walked just this one row. I haven't been into the main room yet.
Yeah.
I've seen.
What's
seen a little bit.
what's the goal?
The goal today is always to find other stuff for the PC.
Yeah.
You know, some 90s cards, some basketball autographs, you know, my usual. Basketball.
Players that you're looking for, or no?
I mean, it's a lot of the 90s guys, but it's most of the veterans, people that you watch, the people that aren't going to like get injured tomorrow or, but then there's some, I mean, like I pick up modern guys too. I just don't do anything in the rookies. I'm not a prospect guy.
Yeah.
I not a risk taker in that way.
Well, you've been doing this for so many years, right? That there's no reason probably for you to go look at these brand new guys being, you know.
And I don't open wax anymore either. It's the same reason. It's
so
just,
were you a wax opener?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I worked in a card store in 1995, 96, 97, 98. Yeah, that was my entire paycheck went into wax at the time. That was, and now it just
sounds like a lot of people I know today.
Right, exactly. Well, I know it's a lot more expensive to do that now than it was back then. And that's a core difference. I tell my son this like all the time. He's very into Pokemon, and so he's always after the new sets, wants to open the wax, the excitement of opening. And I'm like, believe me, I know where you're coming from, but these packs of cards, like if we looked at it the other day, I took him with me to a show. He ended up spending $10. He could have spent $10 on one pack of cards, one Pokemon pack that he wanted, but instead he left with 5 individual cards that he picked up that he really wanted. And I said, could you have possibly gotten those 5 cards that you really like in that one pack? And he said, no, at best I could have gotten 1.
Wow.
You know, so really bringing that into terms. And so he realized, yeah, I guess you're right. He goes, but it's so fun to open them. I'm like, I know. I know. We all know. We all know.
Yeah.
But
sometimes it just makes more sense to buy the card.
Maybe he would be great to ask the question that was just asked then. Dale had asked if there's a transition from kids who start out in Pokemon to sports cards.
Oh.
Maybe you would know. I don't know.
I think there is. I think collecting cards is kind of a universal thing. If you enjoy collecting, then I don't think it's limited to whatever sport you start with or TCG you start with. I think naturally, I was just talking to my friend John in the car on the way here about how he formed a friendship with someone he didn't even like originally. He had known before, but when he found out that they both collected cards, they became friends over that. And so I think that can span out. I mean, my collection has grown over the years. It's, I have a lot of Derek Jeter stuff now too. I have
sold you a Derek Jeter card.
You did. I have a lot of this kind of like stuff that's expanded. So I think if you have an appreciation for cards in general, I think that can absolutely broaden out to other things for sure. So, what's up, Chuck? So.
We're live.
We're live.
Podcast.
I know, right?
We're live right now.
You need a microphone so that people know that you have a podcast going on.
That is spectacular.
We should just carry this.
Yeah.
I carry it around the show. Yeah.
It is a good look.
With the laptop.
Good to see you. Have a great podcast.
Are you set up? Or are you walking?
Nah, just walking in and dropping stuff off.
You want to come set? You want to pop in for like 5 minutes?
Yeah, come in.
On the way back, you can pop in.
I think the greatest thing, folks can't see this, and I don't want to touch your laptop when everything's plugged into it, but Chuck is not setting up today, yet he has the most gargantuan dolly that looks like he's setting up today, which just makes me think he's going to buy a lot. I don't know.
He's moving a refrigerator.
Yeah, you can either remove a refrigerator or a couple boxes of cards.
Bunch of cards.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'll see you with that.
Awesome. But yeah, I think it's universal. I think if you're into it, if you understand like the kind of the memories that the cards encapsulate, the way that they can bring you back, then I think it's, if you start with TCG, you end up collecting basketball or baseball or something else later on for sure.
And do you think too, and this is something that I talked to a lot of people about, do you think it's the people you meet in the hobby, the people who you become friends with, kind of steers you a little bit more into what you're, maybe not your PC, but what you're buying and selling and
100%.
Things like that in the hobby?
It's a social thing. It's a natural human nature to socially want to fit in with those things. And I think peer pressure plays a role there too, where, if your friends are all out collecting a particular player, I guess I could do that. Like I think there's a piece of that comes there too.
Yeah.
What I think is interesting is I think there's a big divide now with the younger generation who's getting involved with it, where I think when I got involved, there was just kind of a need to collect and an enjoyment out of collecting. And the primary was having the card and enjoying the card. Now, I think a lot of younger people are getting in and their enjoyment starts with making money. And so the value that they place on the card ends up being paramount to them, which is very different than it was for me. Like it was always about the card first and then like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that I could sell that for this money. Maybe I should. Now it's like, well, what is it worth? What is it worth? What is it worth? My son had a birthday party a couple weekends ago, and we brought some wax for them, Pokemon and stuff, Minecraft cards too, for them to open up. And the immediate question as they opened each pack was, "Oh, are any of these worth something big?
Yeah.
What's the most expensive card?
And
What
that's
is it worth?"
everybody's question.
Yeah, and I feel like it's there. It kind of takes away from the pure enjoyment. Like art isn't worth money just because it's worth money. It starts out being worth money because people want it, they desire it, they like the way it looks. And I feel the same way about cards. And I think a lot of folks now are coming in and starting with the money piece, not asking the questions of, well, why is the Kaboom worth more than the card that's a base card? It's not numbered. Why is it worth this much? And not realizing like, well, there was eye appeal to the original ones and they were different and it was a throwback to the 90s inserts. And that's why people liked them in the first place. Yep. Like in basketball, why are the Noir sneaker spotlight shoe cards where there's no piece of memorabilia or anything, it's just a picture of a shoe and they autograph it. Why is that worth so much more than any of the other autographs in that Immaculate set, or in the Noir set, even though it's numbered to 49 or 99, it's not like as limited as some other things. Yeah. It's because people are like, well, that's cool. I've never seen a card where they spotlight the design of the shoe before. And that, so people aren't really looking at the origins. They're just looking like almost like at a price guide. They're just looking at eBay. And
how much is it worth?
Yeah.
And do you think like Whatnot and a lot of the breaking and things like that have really put an emphasis on the value of the card versus the I'm going to say beauty, I mean, and at the end of the day, like people will get a yell, but like, Ken, you're set up with a case over there trying to sell cards, right? But which I understand, but I just think that what you're saying is there's so much emphasis put on the money part of it, which is okay for us adults, but when you're doing that with 6 and 8, 10-year-old kids,
it's weird to have it be primary. That's my thing. It totally should be in the conversation, but they all have dollar amounts to them, right? Like, it's just like, why lead with that? Yeah. Like, why do we have to lead with this is $100 card? Why can't we lead with, look at how great this Michael Jordan looks, sure. How limited it was. You remember how many packs we used to open in order to get this? Like, that's like where it used to go. And now it's just like, it's $100 card, Yeah. And to your point, like I think Whatnot, and I've said this for a long time, but Whatnot and Loop and all of these platforms, eBay Live, now Walmart Live, which will be coming out soon. All of these platforms are really focused around the old home shopping network QVC mentality. Yeah. We got to yell at the rooftops about how much this is worth and what a great deal it is. And
Billy May is here.
Exactly, right? What can you get in this pack? Mark McGuire rookie card.
Wait, there's more.
Yes. We also are throwing in this. Oh, do you want number 92? Number 92. But I mean, that's true. It's like, this water bottle cap. Do you guys know that Wade Boggs used this right before? No, I'm just kidding. But that's the thing. They're adding that, and that's what you do as a salesman. You add in that kind of energy. It's just weird now that it's nonstop, and that when one person ends, there's 100 other people that have that same energy on another product that they're trying to get you to rip. And, so different world, but
we're going to take this one comment here, and then
your basketball card guy. Is it only men's basketball still, or have you dabbled?
Yeah, women's basketball as well. Absolutely.
Dale P says, I opened 87 tops and 87 looking for the big hits, money cards too, though. I just didn't have an outlet to sell my Bo Jackson outside of the.
Fair enough.
Now the world has shrunk with
eBay.
It's
true.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. I mean, if we think back, well, now the sets are way more complicated. You got number cards and everything too. But if you think back, if you were in this industry 20, 30 years ago, how difficult it could be to complete a set, And like now you just go between ComC and eBay, like a base set, like you can complete that in an hour. You know, if you're missing like 6 cards, you're done.
Yeah.
You know, like you're good. It is a small
Unless
world.
it's the original autographed Hunger Games cards.
Right. Well, that's the thing, right? Again, we go back to those kind of things, the Harry Potter cards. There's so many that are limited sets that have wide appeal. Like, again, those would be ones that I would argue that those values went way up because of the appeal of that program.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff today we talk about, you know, these prospects and like a Victor Wembanyama autograph selling for $1,000 on average or $800. He hasn't done anything to that monetary level yet. The fact that you can buy, you know, rookie cards and autograph cards of players that have won championships for less money than that.
Durant is a great example, I feel like.
Kevin Durant is probably the best example I could think of too. Absolutely, you know, and it's just like, here's a player who's done everything, who's just incredible, generational. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, his autograph rookies are not anywhere near where Victor's are at this point. And I'd argue there's probably more of the Victors out there too, because Topps has been going crazy, putting him in every possible set, making him a rookie for 2 years, basically.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we're Ben Simmons again in Upper Deck. Ben Simmons, we always joke, was like a 3-year rookie because he was injured like the first year, so they put rookie on his second-year cards, and then that kind of moved into like a third year, and we're like, what the heck? Like, how long is this guy going to be a rookie for, you know? But yeah, but awesome. Well, thanks for having me, Ken. I appreciate it, man.
Before you go,
Yeah.
what's anything new, anything surprising we don't know about for National? I know you work with them. Things are
We
happening.
are working on trade nights. There are going to be 3 trade nights again, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Chicago. It's going to be in the same building as the National itself. The room is going to hold, I think, about 4,000 to 5,000 people.
Nice.
So it's a big room. We used the room 2 years ago when we were in Chicago. This year it's official, being run by the National. There will be activations in that room that are going to be insane. I can't say who they are yet, but big brands, big things that you guys, either services you utilize, places you sell, they're going to be in the room there for you to talk to, giving things away.
Nice.
It's going to be great. If you know, small plug for Roadshow Cards, I brand manage for them. We will have bracelets at the Roadshow Cards booth at the National that get you into the trade night. They're free.
Okay.
You want to stop by that booth as soon as possible upon getting to the National and ask the staff there if they have a bracelet for you. Again, it's free entry. Last year, I think we gave away $150,000 worth of stuff at the trade night.
Nice.
Free. This year, I think it's going to be more. So it's worth seeing. That's, I think, the thing I look forward to most above and beyond just the show being amazing is the trade night. It's where you get together with these people. It's going to be hosted. The first one's going to be hosted by Jimmy from Roadshow Cards and Ryan, Card Collector 2, as it always is in the last 9 years now we've done it. And so it's going to be crazy. Last year, we had 8,000 people in, or 7,000 people in, and we had to turn down about 8,000 people at the door.
But if I have a band,
You're in.
I'm getting
You're
in.
in. You're getting in. So that's the key.
So you know, you're the first booth I'm going to. When
Yes,
I show
you
up.
should.
I show up on Wednesday.
Yes,
I'm going to
go
your
there, get a bracelet.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Awesome card vibe. Yeah. Look, we try every year to just make it. And look, it comes really from Jimmy and Ryan, from just the fact that they wanted to create a safe space where people could get together, talk cards, trade cards. You know, it's as simple as that. It will be, I don't want to say more complicated this year, but it will be more feature rich this year with a lot of the integrations that are coming. But the core of it is the same. There's going to be a ton of these round tables around. You can sit down, get your spot, trade with people. And that's what it's all about. You meet people, form, you know, lifelong friendships. You know, like, it doesn't get better than that. And the fact that it's at the building, you don't have to go find your way to a hotel nearby or any of that kind of stuff. It's literally part of the same building. You can, if you parked, you can just stay where you are. If you're at the hotel that's connected, you could just, again, stay where you are. You don't have to travel anywhere else. That's really the best, and we're trying to make it really simple. So yeah, and it's gonna be a lot of great stuff there this year. I think people are gonna be really pleased with it. It'll be fun, and we got Fanatics Fest coming up too. In a few weeks. And they're getting, you know, more and more guests being announced. LeBron James was just announced. You know, and so that should be another kind of big show, and that's close to people that are in this area here.
Yeah.
You can pop down for a day. Just check the website to see when people are going to be doing signings and events and things. If you really want to see someone like LeBron James, you want to get to that event early. Your ticket allows you into all of the events, but the events do fill up. So get there half an hour, 45 minutes early to stand in the line to get in, to get yourself a great seat and see that kind of stuff.
Pokemon cards, they're out there 2 days before their delivery.
Oh, yeah.
So
These people, you guys should be able to wait in the line.
I can imagine LeBron James line is going to be a little bit bigger than that.
It's, it is a Disney World mentality that you kind of have to take, that you're going to have to wait a little while for the things that you really want.
Rope drop mentality.
Oh my God. But it is. They've created yet another show that's different. It's not as strong for cards as the National. There's no question about that, but it's not trying to be.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be. But what it is strong for is it's the first show that I've been a part of and I've witnessed where they have the celebrities, the guests, actually walking the floor. They take these guys out with security for like half an hour and they go and buy stuff. We had Jake Paul and Livy Dunn last year come to the Roadshow booth.
Yeah.
Spent over $20,000 at the Roadshow booth, picking up like Luka Doncic rookies, Kobe Bryant autographs. Jake was like, I really want to get into this thing. He's like, I want to compete with my brother. He's a bigger collector than me. And what a great experience. And it was surrounded by state troopers and 100 and some odd fans that were all trying to see what was going on.
Yeah.
But the fact that the celebrities actually get out there on the floor, buy cards like we do, it's a really cool thing to see. I saw Tom Brady out there. I saw Gronk out there. I ran into all these people as we were walking around. It's just like, this is a crazy show that they mix them in. And I think I think we may see that emulated across the board, even in shows like this today. You have an autograph guest, why not give them some security and let them walk the floor and go see what everyone's here for?
Shake hands.
Yeah, I think we're going to see more of that as the years go on. But 2 great shows coming up, within the next 6 weeks, and it should be a lot of fun. I hope to see people out there. And draw me a line if you're going to be there. DM me, basketball card guy. Happy to meet up with folks and give you advice on where to get bracelets and get you into stuff. So.
I will see you at both of those.
You got it, Ken. Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Good to see you, man.
Appreciate you for stopping by.
Of course.
Enjoy the show.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah, awesome popping. Always a good time talking with him. Always.
Who, it was Wade Boggs that touched this?
Allegedly. Oh, and our draft is back on, Ken. You're up.
I'm up.
You are up. Live drafting here. Now you got to find sleeper.
I've never drafted on sleeper app.
So
This is
Matt took JJ McCarthy and Tyler took George Kittle. You are up, my friend. So we're at the turn. We're at the 6-7 turn. It goes Ken, me, back to Ken. So in a live dynasty.
who took Tyler? Did you say Tyler took JJ McCarthy?
No. God, no. No, Matt did.
Oh.
No. Ken is now going to the table. He has some people there, but really it's just he doesn't know who to pick. And that's really what's going on here. But the show is great, and hopefully we could get a few more people in here to chat it up. I know. Hopefully Chuck will pop back in. That'd be great to talk with Chuck.
What do you need? Because you've got 2 picks.
I have 2 picks. Yep. See, now it's gotten serious, everyone. Ken's locked in. Let's see. I got a comment here. Garrett with I love the pickle, Rick. That's awesome. Ken did Panini ever take care of you for those Donruss blasters that had all the vet base?
Not yet. I'm still waiting. They're on there. Still waiting. Why did you have the same problem?
So Ken selected someone I had not even considered taking. So that works. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna go him. Then I have another pick. Now this is where it gets tricky for me. So I take Jared Goff as my second QB in the Superflex. Because he's one of those sneaky top 10 guys because of how loaded his offense is and no one ever thinks about him. Like, he'll finish before most of the people that got drafted before him, which is fantastic. I love it. There's a lot of ways I could go here and not be upset with what I take. And I think who I want to take, you wouldn't even take. This is tough now. Let's see what we got here.
You said I was thinking.
I'm thinking, man. Well, because
you're using a cheat app over there.
it's not a cheat app.
Tell you who to pick.
Not at all. I'm looking at multiple sources.
How's it going? Good. How you doing? Good.
This is tough. This is tough.
How you doing?
I think I just got to go with the value here.
Good thing you have 4 hours to pick.
Well, you're up now.
What'd you pick?
You'll have to go look on the app to see who I picked. Took Devonta Smith. So right now, the squad in a super flex dynasty is Josh Allen, Puka Nacua, Drake London, Trevion Henderson, Breece Hall, Jared Goff, and Devonta Smith. So I'll take it. Oh, and Garrett said he had some problem. They said the target blasters had the issue. Oh, same problem. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Brutal on Panini, but right up Panini's alley. What else do you expect? I gotta be honest, the Kittle thing threw me off. You were gonna take Kittle?
That's who I was gonna take.
I was gonna take Kittle, so that's a good pick on Tyler. Dang. So the next tight end up, do you see who it is? It's Lovelace.
Lovelace. Probably won't make it back to me again, so I'm just gonna take him.
You're taking Lovelace. Ken is popping away. I have to grab something, so hopefully I did not take this whole thing down. Okay. There we go. All right. Who wants to help me kill the open air in here? What do we got going on? So, if you guys are here, are you going to shows today? No shows in the area? What's the show circuit where you guys are? For me, it's kind of strange to be back out at shows. Just haven't done it quite as often since I have the little one, but it's still fun to get to see everyone, see a bunch of cards, and hopefully make a deal, you know? I know we talk a lot about fantasy football, and you guys into fantasy football, and if so, how many leagues you're in? I think I'm in like 8 now, like 8, and I have like I think four dynasty leagues. Chandler AZ, no shows, but it's a dry heat, right, Dale? It's a dry heat out there. Never been to Arizona. I'd like to go. Yeah, what is the show circuit like out in Arizona? Is it just like I don't know the area at all? Yeah, correct. Definitely would be interested. Like, how often do you get to go to shows being in Arizona? Is that a regular occurrence, or because I mean in the Northeast everyone's on top of each other. We have shows every weekend. You ever been to Arizona?
Yeah, I went to. There's another guy I had on my radar. When I went out to Las Vegas, I also drove from Vegas to California a couple times. So, but I went to the dam.
I feel like that's a very intense drive. Vegas, or no?
Oh, it's nice. I actually like that drive. Yeah.
Cool.
There's somewhere in that desert where they just stop you and ask you if you have fruit when you're on the highway. Just out of nowhere, there's actually have fruit in your car. Probably missing a lot of buying opportunities.
How long do you think we want to run this thing?
I was gonna see if Chuck came back out. We'll run it for just a couple more minutes and
see if Cliff wants to come on.
Yeah.
Alex had said he's the pretty face.
Yeah, Alex. Yeah. Come on. Just let it run for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to let you know, you can actually change the player's name. So like if I wanted to, I could go here, and I could go. Oh wait, crap. Maybe not yet because it's drafting. Let me see. There's a way. It's probably because there's usually a way like right here. If you go on the players, you should change the nickname to Lovelace. Said limited, even small 20 tables are once a month. So Dale, is your hobby like mainly online then? Is that how you do it? So I think that's something a lot of people in the Northeast we take for granted is just how where it shows all day, every day. X out and go back in. Happens to me all the time.
It's just a horrible
And there are
app.
220 table shows. Wow. Yeah. That is not a lot. How often have I taken someone that you want on the turn? I feel like I didn't take anyone there.
Nope, not at all. No, the only guy I was really looking to get was Kittle. I had him lined up for my from the tight end position.
And he sniped you. Yeah, you thought Tyler would never take JJ McCarthy. I'm surprised. Oh, well, he has two quarterbacks because Penix is still there. Probably snag Penix later on. Tyler, if you're watching, we're on to you. Even though you're on to us with the Kittle thing.
Yeah, you couldn't make it to the show, but you're home drafting.
Yep. And sniping us on top of that.
I see everybody's got Dunkin' Donuts cups.
I'm not walking in the rain again. I told you this. No more
Find
rain
out where
walking.
the Dunkin' Donuts is.
Actually, I will do that so I can
Here's
shit.
Cliff, did you want to
You
jump on the live here and talk about the show?
Talk about the show.
No?
I have a face for radio.
He said the same thing. He said you're the pretty one. They're shy, but they're great and they help out.
Yeah.
But you want me to go? You think that's it?
Yeah.
That's hour 20. Usually we get ostracized for this time limit, so
Yeah.
hour 20 live. That's a different beast.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, he's got a Cumberland Farms coffee cup. That's the hat, Ken. $1 coffee. If you're not local, Cumberland Farms is a national treasure.
But here's the problem.
They have a coffee bar.
You have to go inside and you have to make your own coffee. Man, how
Don't-
nice is it just to drive through and just hold your phone up and just get somebody to hand you a pre-made coffee?
Well, it's really nice when you have me to go do coffee runs, isn't it? That's the best, isn't it? It's amazing. It's great. It's grand. Yeah. No, but
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, they were going to shut it down. Thank everybody for watching. And again, if you're in Connecticut, you get up here to the Doubletree in Bristol.
Bristol, not Danbury, Bristol.
And we've got people signing.
I'll say this one. This is what I can't say the other ones,
All
but you
right.
can say that.
All right.
We have Rikishi, who is signing, Hall of Famer,
And
WWE. And,
Kevin Deneen and Peter Sidorkovich.
but you couldn't say Rikishi, but you could say
Well, I was trying-
Sidorkovich.
See, Rikishi had all those exclamations. I didn't know.
Oh, I
didn't
see.
know there
Whereas
was something else
It
going
would just
on.
be Rikishi.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Wait.
Oh,
Tuesday, we're back live.
yeah.
Back live. What's the time? Was it 8:15?
8:15.
8:15 EST. Be there. Be square. Dale,
Thanks, man. Thanks for hanging out with us.
and he's in Arizona. It was early. So Dale, thanks for popping in, man.
See, he was probably sitting home drinking his coffee.
He's probably just really hot with that dry heat, like 7 a.m. So, all right, Dale, appreciate it.
All right, guys. Thank you.